Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this seminar, during which we have been able to hear very rich presentations from our speakers, as well as have animated and fruitful exchanges that have followed these presentations. The committee has also had constructive discussions with many experts, as well as with other participants. I would like to highlight the fact that the delegation of the committee is entirely satisfied with the work carried out during this seminar. It's now my pleasure to give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Riyad Mansour, the Permanent Observer of the State of Palestine to the United Nations Organization and the representative of the State of Palestine to this seminar. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we are now concluding these 2 days of deliberation on an important subject related to assistance to the Palestinian people, I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, and through you, the committee and the delegation of the Bureau for organizing this very important conference in this very important African capital in the only UN major office in Africa. It's the fourth office of the United Nations. And also I would like to thank all the people from the Division of Palestinian Rights in the Secretariat who have facilitated, all the details of making, our meeting a successful one. They are the soldiers behind the scenes, and they are wonderful in carrying out their responsibilities in the highest form of professionalism and efficiency. Let me also again, reiterate our gratitude to the government and people of Kenya for hosting this meeting in their capital. And in this regard, we want to thank, the United Nations office here in Nairobi for providing us with this wonderful facilities in environmental friendly atmosphere. I want also to thank all the participants, the experts, for their contribution and their sharing with us their insights and ideas of all the issues that they handled in this very important seminar. I am sure that the compilation of all the papers and the discussions and the notes that were presented in this meeting will be a very important package of information for those who are experts in knowing, the details of the life of the Palestinian people under occupation and as it relates to their economy and as it relates to their development and all the issues related to that. So those who are interested in studying this subject, the experts, the diplomats, they would have a very respectable amount of documentations that would allow them to have a better understanding of the reality of the Palestinian people under occupation. I want also to thank all those who are with us from the governments, from the agencies, from the media, if there are some of them, all those who are interested, in participating in this seminar. And I will associate myself with the comments of the chairman when he expressed the thanks to everyone, including those who are in the booths, who provided the translation to us so that we can understand the discussion in the language that is suitable to the individual who wants to listen to it. Of course, in seminars like this, what we used to do is we would bring ministers, particularly Minister of Planning, and bring a number of Palestinian academicians and representatives of civil societies and activists. So not to allow the experts like you to dissect different aspects of our reality, whether from the point of view of UNCTAD, whether the point of view of those who provide humanitarian aid in difficult areas, whether it's in the Gaza Strip or Area C or Jerusalem, or some think tank Palestinians such as Arij, who would really give very respectable pieces of research or information about the different aspects of the effect, the negative effect of occupation on our life. But we usually bring, as I said, as contribution from us, in addition to the experts, members of the Palestinian academia, professors in Birzeit University and Najah University, Bethlehem University and others, so that they can comment on our developmental plans, and also civil society experts or activists, because there is so many ways of looking at the same thing, and we can serve the cause of Palestine in the best way if we look at it from so many different dimensions. Unfortunately, this year we did not do that because of the massive emergency situation that our people are going through, particularly during the last 3 weeks. It made it impossible for the minister to be with us, and many of the academicians regretted coming because of the difficulties that they will encounter in traveling from Ramallah, going through the bridge, and all of the difficulties the Israeli occupying authorities placed before them. So I apologize for not providing you with this additional expose to our situation. And we do that not because we we are ashamed of anything, or we are afraid to show anything. We believe that part of the resiliency of the Palestinian people is that we put on the table everything. The position of the government, and those who are defending it will do so with the highest degree of professionalism. The academicians who look at it from that point of view, we will give them audience, and even some oppositions from the civil society. These are testimonies to our strength, to our democracy. We need everyone within our society. We are not afraid to allow for different points of views to be transmitted. And this myth that Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East truly is a myth. We are proud of our democracy, of our diversity, of our pluralism, and we have a diverse political system, whether in the PLO, and we had it for a long period of time, and also within our vibrant civil society organizations and the freedom of expression in our university and in other places. Now, after listening to so many presentations about the gloomy situation of the Palestinian people, now we don't want you to conclude from that the case of the Palestinian people is hopeless, and then people need to fold the tent and go home and stop being involved in advancing the cause of justice for the Palestinian people. That is not our objective, not to depress you. Our objective is to inform you, and to better inform you about so many different aspects of the life of the Palestinian people. And based on this knowledge and information, and you add to it the determination of our people to stay in our homeland and to struggle in the way we do, such as the people in Bil'in, the people in Nabi Saleh, and people in Silwan, and in all the other places in Palestine in which we are peacefully defending our cause, defending our land, and the Israeli occupying authorities are the ones who are bringing violence. Our people are staying there. They are determined to continue the struggle to put an end to occupation. But from all the presentations that you listen to, there is one common thread that goes through all of them. While you try to address issues related to employment, related to sending aid to people in Area C, helping the people in East Jerusalem, helping the people in Gaza, but without making all these efforts channeled in the direction of ending the occupation, and allowing the people of Palestine to live in freedom and dignity in their own independent state, then we cannot truly transform the situation from where it is now to where it should be, where the independent state of Palestine to be in total control of its resources, and it would be running the affairs of its people, to be able to move into the other and the future challenges that will be facing us, in which we will be running our affairs with complete freedom. We will be controlling our resources without the negative effect by Israeli occupation. We will be controlling our skies, our seas, our crossing borders. We will be exactly like you in Africa, in which you are conducting your business as free nations for proud people in determining their own futures. And if we do something wrong, it is our responsibility. And if we do something remarkable, it is also our credit. And that is how we will be conducting our business. Now, therefore, we have a tall order before us to continue the struggle to accomplish the objective of ending occupation and allowing for the independence of the state of Palestine. Of course, during the last few days, there were, a huge amount of hardship imposed on our people in a form of collective punishment because of the killing of 3 settlers, which I said yesterday and our leadership repeats. We condemn the killing of innocent civilians. We are against that. But there is no justification for a collective punishment to an entire nation because of this action. And when the Security Council, sleeping all these years, not assuming its responsibility in dealing with our situation, but all of a sudden, the Security Council, because of one permanent member, is interested in having a position to condemn the killing and to express solidarity with Israel in this moment. When the Security Council only act at this occasion, shame on the Security Council for not treating all individuals at the same level. And I instructed my office today to send a letter on behalf of the Palestinian people and the leadership to the Security Council and to the Secretary General and the President of the General Assembly, specifically to the Security Council, as you condemn the killing of Israeli teenagers, condemn the killing of a Palestinian teenager who was kidnapped today from East Jerusalem, taken to West Jerusalem by extreme settlers, was killed, assassinated, murdered, and mutilated, and his body was burned. If you value the life of those other teenagers, value the life of this Palestinian teenager. Condemn this criminal act. Condemn those criminals who have acted in the same manner, and we hold Israeli government responsible for this hysteria of this collective punishment against our entire nation and our people in all parts of the homeland, Palestine. And we hope that the Security Council, to muster the honor and the respect and the consistency of defending human lives of individuals, especially young persons, and to condemn this action by those extremists who have done this criminal act against a teenager Palestinian today, and to stop this onslaught and aggression against our people in all parts of the occupied territory, including in the Gaza Strip. The option of war is not the option of healing wounds and living and having coexistence and trying to have peace. If they continue to humiliate an entire nation and to punish an entire nation and to arrest 600 individuals in a span of 3 weeks, many of them are elected officials. Many of them were released in exchange of political prisoners. And they continue besieging the Gaza Strip and besieging a district of Al-Khalil, Hebron, with a population of 800,000. These are seeds for the continuation of resentment and hatred. You cannot have peace with such kind of behavior. You might have peace in not acting illegally, especially in the area of settlements, and you can restrain your thugs from settlers who are being unleashed to kill Palestinian civilians and to attack Palestinian civilians in the occupied territory. And we appeal to the international community for reason and for pressure on the Israeli government and those who support them that to continue in this path is playing with fire, because if you keep humiliating our people and humiliating our nation, don't expect the Palestinian people to continue being a society of angels. Crimes will be most likely breeding crimes. Hatred most likely would be breeding hatred. But those who want peace, they should be courageous enough to stop this insane behavior by the Israeli government and the settlers. And they have the upper hand because they have the weapons, they have the tools, they have the money, they have the soldiers, they have the equipment, and they have the support from a very powerful nation. I don't want you, to leave with a depressed, feeling. I want you to leave with more determination to do what you are doing and to add more. We need your help. We appreciate your help. You are our friends, and we are inviting every person, every country, every agency, anywhere, to look at our experience, to look at our conduct, and try to help us to do our work in a better way. Try to help us to continue our struggle in the best possible way, honorable, moral way, so that we can succeed in ending occupation and having the independence of the state of Palestine, where we can have two-state solution in the ground. When we have two states equal, then that would be the beginning of the other side treating us equally, not as slaves and subordinate, subhumans, but as equal. And you in Africa, you know exactly what I mean. Once you create a situation like that, we might open doors for possibilities for us and for them and for the entire region. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Riyad Mansour. Thank you for your concluding remarks. The participants, as well as the chair, does appreciate the manner in which you have summarized the goals that we were trying to pursue in the course of the seminar. Once again, thank you, Your Excellency. I would like to now make a statement in my capacity as chairman of the Committee on the Exercise of the Inalienable Rights of the Palestinian People. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of the 2 days of the seminar that we have spent discussing the topic of how to promote active international solidarity with the Palestinians and consolidating the economic underpinnings of an independent state. On behalf of the committee, I would like to thank the United Nations office at Nairobi. Thank you for hosting this seminar. We were particularly pleased to have the presence of the Director General of the United Nations office at Nairobi, Madam Sally Workzewe, when she came to grace our opening session. I would like to also express our gratitude to the representatives of the Republic of Kenya, the Ambassador Kimani, permanent representative to United Nations organizations here in Nairobi, Ambassador Kiurani, Director of Multilateral Affairs in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Ali Abbas, Director of Middle Eastern Affairs in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and last but not least, our friend, Ambassador Macharia Kamau, Permanent Representative of the Republic of Kenya to the United Nations, New York. I would like to also express gratitude on behalf of the committee to Mr. Mukisa Kituyi, who is the Secretary General of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Thank him for having participated in our meeting and for his long-standing support to our committee. I would like to also thank all of the participants. Thank you very much for the time you spent on the seminar and for the very useful contributions that you have provided to it. In particular, I would like to thank our experts, whose knowledge and whose analysis has enabled us to better understand the Palestinian reality. My thanks also go to the representatives of states, United Nations bodies, as well as intergovernmental and non-governmental organizations. I thank them for the interest they have shown to the seminar and thank them for the useful contributions that they've provided to our discussions. The reports that the United Nations bodies have made on the reality in the field has recalled for us the moral responsibility incumbent upon us to fight the injustice which the Palestinian people are suffering from, and our unfailing determination to help the Palestinian state to consolidate their economy. The presentation made by Ambassador Riyad Mansour made today on the Palestinian National Development Plan for 2014-2015 was particularly important. We were also informed of the initiative for the Palestinian economy, the initiative which was recently launched by the Secretary of State, Mr. John Kerry, in order to revitalize the Palestinian economy and stimulate local investment as well as foreign investment in it. This initiative, which is to complement the peace process, could help bring the peace dividend to the Palestinian people that they've been waiting for such a long time. Some of our experts have provided examples of successful initiatives undertaken at the local level where European and Palestinian communities were brought together for the benefit of both sides. This community approach can bring new dynamism to local companies, can also reach a vast network of families, women, and the young people, and become a new essential form of providing long-term investment. In addition to the assistance provided by various United Nations institutions and civil society and the help coming from the sector, private sector, in addition to that, these measures can help promote sustainable economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, sustainable economic development is no simple thing. It is all the more complicated because of an interminable conflict, of lengthy occupation, a growing number of illegal settlements, a separation barrier, hundreds of control posts, and a complete blockade imposed on a part of the territory, namely Gaza. The first United Nations Environment Assembly, which took place here in Nairobi, where the state of Palestine was represented by Madam Adala Atira, head of the authority in charge of the quality of environment in Palestine. And she underscored the nefarious effects on the environment exerted by the occupation. She also underscored the difficulties when it comes to using the national resources and the problems that Palestinians have when it comes to managing their water resources. We also know the potential that land and the people, the Palestinian people have. But in the course of the seminars, we were told again that Area C, namely 62% of the West Bank, which hosts most of the arable lands and the natural resources, that area is entirely under Israeli control. The financial situation of the authority remains precarious. And this in turn threatens the viability of the Palestinian economy. The actual deterioration of the situation in the West Bank and Gaza recalls that the potential of the Palestine cannot be fully used unless there is a fair, equitable, and lasting peace with Israel. And this is the moment now more than ever to recall this. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of Palestine and its leaders need our support, and the international community will continue to undertake practical measures to persuade the occupying powers to stop its nefarious policies and to accept to peacefully coexist with all of its neighbors, including the state of Palestine, following the established international norms. We urge the international donors to continue providing support to the authority and to honor the commitments undertaken by providing the contributions that were pledged. As you also know, the General Assembly proclaimed the year 2014 the International Year of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. And I would like to use this opportunity to invite all of the governments and the organizations represented here to express their specific support through various activities and thus to express their solidarity with the Palestinian people. We stand convinced that we can count on the support of African states to the Palestinians, in particular through the important role they play within the United Nations, within the group of the African states and through the non-aligned movement. I would like to tell you that the chairman's summary, drawing the attention to the main salient points of our meeting, will be posted as of next week on the website, the question of Palestine, which is hosted by the Division for Palestinian Rights. Of course, a more detailed report of the meeting will in due time also appear, and this will be in the form of a publication issued by the Division for Palestinian Rights of the United Nations Secretariat. Please also make use of the United Nations Information System on the question of Palestine, UNISPAL, which is also hosted by the Division, and it contains basically all of the United Nations documents on the question of Palestine and also other useful information. It is also my pleasure to tell you that our seminar was very well followed by the social networks, through the Facebook, which the Division has, and through its Twitter account as well. In concluding, I would like to, on behalf of the committee, to express my personal gratitude to the conference services staff, to the members of the Division for Palestinian Rights of the United Nations Secretariat, to the interpreters, and all those who have contributed towards making sure our seminar is a success. And I would like to now declare the United Nations Seminar on Assistance to the Palestinian People officially closed. Thank you all very much.
Congratulations.